Hi guys, welcome to Algebra's Greek number 7. We're going to have a look at fractions. I've simplified grade 6 and 7 algebra into 10 videos, which has helped many children just like you. I would advise you to watch all of these videos because they all contain handy hints. Okay, fractions, let's have a look. I always think about fractions like pizza or cake, and it's the pieces that you cut them into. Okay, so fractions is when you have one number standing on top of each other. You see like that, and that line indicates division. So it's the pieces that you're going to cut from something. Okay, let's have a look. What do we look for when we work with fractions? Let me just cover this first. Okay, step 1. Fractions, you do look for cancellation. Step 2, it must be the same at the bottom. 4, using functions, meaning plus, minus, multiplication and division, it must be the same at the bottom. Lowest common denominator. Step 3, what do you do at the bottom? You have to do at the top, because when you cut the cake and the pizza, it needs to be fair. So what you do on the one side, on the top, you need to do at the bottom. Same, okay? And they have to be the same at the bottom. Number 4, check answer. If the top is bigger, if you are done with your calculation, you check your answer. If the top is bigger, it means it's heavier. So you need to simplify. Okay, don't worry too much. We'll have a look at examples just now. Handy hint. Pizza pieces must be the same before plus or minusing. Okay, so you have to look that they are the same, meaning the bottom, the lowest common denominator. Okay, this is what a fraction looks like. The one at the top tells you how many of the slices you get, and the bottom tells you how many slices there are, how many pieces there are, and how many of those pieces do you work with or do you get. See why I'm referring to a cake or a pizza. Okay, let's have a look at the first example. Cool. Here we have 5/3 minus 6/4. Okay, or quarters. And that equals what? That's what we need to calculate. Now, step 1, cancellation. Can we cancel? Okay, let's not cancel yet. Step 2, in this example, I did not cancel. So even if you lose if you forget about the cancellation, don't worry too much. Okay, it just makes the numbers smaller so you can work easier with them. 3 times 4 would give you, your lowest common denominator would be 12. How do I know that? Multiples of 3. 3 plus 3 gives 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. Remember, I said every time you see the number you're multiplying with, you write your number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 4s. So every time you see a 4, you need to write the number. Now we're looking for the lowest common one. Here's a 6, we don't have a 6. Here's a 9, we don't have a 9. Here's a 12, and here we have a 12 as well. So it means we need to use the 12. Okay. What happened on this side? We multiplied with 4. Multiply with 4. What happened on this side? we multiplied with 3. So this one we multiply with 3. Remember, what you do at the top, bottom, you have to do at the top. So if you put it over 12, it means that 3 multiplied by 4. So 20 needs to be multiplied by 4, and 80 needs to be multiplied by 3 because 4 was multiplied by 3. You see, they don't work together. They had different values. So we have to do the same thing here at the bottom and at the top. Okay, so what happens is I looked at cancellation. Okay, so 4 times 5 gives you 20. 3 times 6 gives you 18. Okay, so that's why the purple is just here to show you what happened. But the black is what we're working with. Now we're looking at cancellation. That's why I said, if you swap them around, don't worry too much about that. Because 20, now you can work with it. They have to be the same at the bottom. Now they're the same at the bottom. So 20 minus 18 would give you 2. 2 over 12. So it means now you're looking for cancellation because 12 cannot divide into 2. So, but 2 can divide in both of these numbers. So if you divide 2 by 2, you get 1. If you get 12 divided by 2, you get 6. Okay. If you're not sure about all of this, here is the same example in another way. Okay. Or you have the same sum there. You decide to look for cancellation first. That's why I said it just keeps the number smaller and that makes it easier to work with. 2 can divide in this one and that one. So what do? We divide. 3 and 5, there's no number that can divide through them. So 3 and 5 stays the same. We don't throw anything away. Remember our sweetie rule. Minus 6 divided by 2 is 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay. So now we first checked for cancellation. Now we know for plus and minus, we need to have the same at the bottom. We have a 3 and a 2. If you write out multiples, you get 3 plus 3. Remember, this is plus 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9. This is 1, that is 2, that is 3. Okay, if you write out multiples, I hope you guys can see this. If you're writing out multiples of 2, you have 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Okay, so that would be 1, that would be 2, that would be 3, and that would be 4. If you have a look at them, the smallest one that you have on both sides is 6. What happened on this side with the 3? You multiplied with, remember, you took at the top one, times 2. Okay, so there you go with your times 2. What happened on this side? There's 6, so you multiplied with 3. There we go. So if you put them on 6, 3 times 2 is 6, 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. Now you have the same, and now you can look at the function which is minus. 10 minus 9 gives you 1. Do you see? You get exactly the same answer using different methods. It's just cancellation makes it easier to work with. Okay, let's have a look at the next example. Because you guys are working with bigger numbers, right? So, here you have whole numbers, you have mixed fractions. There's a whole number and then fractions and so forth and so forth. So if you look at these two, the pieces are already the same. See, it's very fair. It's already the same. So you can just work with this. The two wholes stay two whole ones because you have a plus. 21 plus 14 gives you 4 plus 1 is 5. You start from the right hand side, like the video about plussing or addition. 4 plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 2 is 3. So you have 35 over 24. Check your answer. If the top is bigger, simplify. 35 is bigger than 24. So how do we make it smaller? You can see that 24 can't go in more than once. There's the multiples, guys, that I wrote out for you. I think it's for the next one. We'll have a look at it just now. Okay. Sorry, you have 35, so you need to minus 24. So 5 minus 4 gives you 1. 3 minus 2 gives you 1. But you took out a whole there, so it needs to go with the whole numbers. And that's how I get to that answer. Okay. Or let's have a look at the next one. Here we decided to cancel. We had a look at 24 and 21 and saw that you can divide it by 3, both numbers. Because what you do at the top and the bottom must be the same. So you can divide it by 3, and on this side you can divide by 2. So 21 divided by 3 would give you 7, and 24 divided by 3 would give you 8. 14 divided by 2 would give you 7, and 24 divided by 2 would give you 12. Okay, now we need the lowest common denominator between 8 and 12. Multiples, remember guys, multiples begins at the number that you are working from. So you can say, yeah, 4 can divide into those two, but that's not a multiple. Multiple meaning which numbers do you get when you add this one to itself and again and again. So it can't be smaller than the 2 that you already have. Okay, so there we wrote down the multiples for 8. There we wrote down the multiples for 12. If you're not sure how this method works, have a look at multiplication. I think that it was explained in that video. So now the two whole ones you leave it there. Now you see that 24 is the smallest common one that repeats. Okay, so 24 was the one that repeated. What happened here? It's 8 times 3. So 8 times 3. So now we multiply by 3. And this one was 12 times 2. So you multiply with 2. Okay, so then you get 24 and 24. 7 times 3 is 21, and 7 times 2 is 14. If you have a look at where you started off, do you see that you're exactly there where you started? But not to worry. Okay, this is just an exercise to show you the different ways of using the same thing. So your two wholes stay. Now you have 21 plus 14 again. 4 plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 2 is 3 over 24. But this one is bigger. So if it's bigger, it means you're taking out a whole to take it to that side. A whole meaning 24 over 24. Because 24 over 24 equals 1. Okay, so you minus 24 from 35 again, and you are left with 11. Okay, you can do backwards counting as well. 4 to 5 gives you 1. 2 to 3 gives you 1. But remember, you took out a whole, so it needs to be added to the whole number. And there we go. Different direction of different way of approaching, still getting the same answer. Okay, here is another example. If you need to calculate 4 hundredths of 1,200, you know that of indicates multiplication. So you have 4 over 100 times 1,200 over 1. Now, because you are multiplying, you can cancel out across. Where plus and minus, you stick to the fraction where you are working with. Okay, and not across. You can't go nuts here. Okay, it's best to stick to those two together. Plus and minus. Multiplication, you can go across. What did we learn from the multiplication video is that zeros cancel out. So here you have 2 and here you have 2, so they cancel out. So you're left with 1 times 1, which gives you 1, and 4 times 12, which gives you 48. Okay, so 48 over 1, the top is very heavy. How many times can 1 go into 48? 48 times. And that is an example of multiplying then with fractions. Okay, that's what the cancellation, and remember your lowest common denominator for plus and minus, and what you do one side you must do on the other side. That's why we are not doing it at the top, because we can't. We're just cancelling out. Okay, cool. Also check out Algebra's Greek number 4 for multiplication and Algebra's Greek number 8 for roots and exponents. That's the next thing we're going to have a look at. If this video helped you, click like. If there's anything else you would like me to explain, write in the comments. If you want to see this video in Afrikaans, let me know in the comments. And always remember, you can do this.